But well, thank you so much. There are a few some media here, so we might just start firing questions
that's
at you. But I wanted to check with you. You know, obviously in 2008, Obama got tons of student votes, and he's coming on Tuesday, and he's done fundraisers for Barrett. Are you afraid that he's going to, you know, get a lot of students rallying behind your opponents?
No, I mean, I think it's interesting that the president's coming, but of all things, I mentioned at the beginning, the fact that he's coming to Madison and coming to campus, I think suggests that the Barrett campaign's in trouble because he's coming to a place that traditionally one might assume would be a base, and the fact that he has to come here, I think shows what I said the other day and say again here now, is we're not taking any votes for granted, both within Dane County and even on college campuses.
And he's been here a lot, obviously.
Yeah, well, I think that's even more of a sign, particularly on the fundraising side. I mean, you had the President of the United States and the White House last year essentially pushed the mayor into running, so it's no surprise that they're coming through after pushing him in to give him as much help as they think they can. But again, in this case, I'm old-fashioned, but I think the people of Wisconsin should pick the next governor, not the president.
Hi, Gillian Lush with Badger.
Hey, good to see you.
Nice to meet you. I was wondering if I could follow up on the comment you made that the Barrett campaign has gone almost exclusively towards attack ads. I was wondering if you could explain how you think his campaign strategy differs from yours at this point.
Well, I think we saw it the other night in the debate. Every question he was asked essentially was turned around to be an attack on me. In our case, my campaign, my statements, my focus, certainly my performance in the debate the other night was focused on telling people what I'm going to do to get the state back on track. Part of that's probably a reflection that, you know, you've had 3 polls in the last week that have him down significantly in the polls. My guess is the people in D.C. have told him to be competitive, he's going to have to tear people off of supporting me. It's, at least the way the folks in Washington do that is to attack. We're going to keep laying out our plans on the 250,000 jobs. We think it's resonating. We think that's why we're heading the polls. And we think the more people learn about it, the better off we'll be.
Were you surprised by how much he seemed to be on the offensive?
Personally, yeah. I mean, I've worked with the mayor before on other things. We've gotten along pretty well on projects. Obviously, our politics are different, but we've worked on projects before. I said this the other day on the UWM campus, and I've thought in the last couple of months I've seen him go from Mr. Nice to Mr. Nasty, but I think that's a byproduct of having a campaign manager from Washington and folks from Washington telling him he needs to attack to win. And I don't think that goes over well. I think most people, in general in Wisconsin, but overall, I think most people, just generally in Wisconsin, want to know what are you for? Not what's wrong with the other guy, but what are you for? And that's what we've laid out.
One of the things that he's attacked you on is your jobs plan, and saying it's not detailed enough, and criticizing your 68-page plan. Are you concerned that some of those attacks on your jobs plan are going to make it seem like you're the candidate without substance? Or
No, I think ours is simple but comprehensive. I think that's the classic difference. If people look at the substance, they realize that the mayor of Milwaukee has a plan that's filled with $1.1 billion in more spending. Our plan is simple but comprehensive and focuses on helping the people of the state create 250,000 jobs. To me, those are the 2 numbers people should think of. Do we need $1.1 billion in more spending, or do we need a system that's going to help us create 250,000 jobs? If they look at it that way, we'll win.
It's time for one more.
Ariel Shapiro from the Daily Cardinal.
Hi.
Thank you for speaking with me today.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
In your brown bag plan, you specifically say that you want to give the UW system tools to make it run more like a business. Can you specify some of these tools and how students will benefit from this?
Sure. If you look overall at things like procurement, purchasing decisions, for example, here at Madison, if you had an individual campus that could buy into some of the power of the Big Ten purchasing, that would allow them to take the dollars they do have and spend them more effectively. So, you know, things that would help keep costs under control, ultimately would help keep tuition under control, would help make sure the dollars that are spent effectively in the classroom as well as on effective research.
And how will UW funding fare in the next budget biennial?
Well, I mean, obviously we think it's important, even more so than just on tuition, but to help with financial assistance, not only for this campus, but for other campuses out there. It's going to be a tough budget, but I still believe education in general, both K through 12 and in higher education, has got to be a priority. And as governor, I'll continue to make it a priority.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Great. Yeah, thanks for coming back over. Yeah, good luck with the rest of that.